Author is becoming a rising star on the global page with the launch of her new book, Before Ever After. The book was published by Random House in New York, something Samantha did not expect since it was her first novel. Today we'll get to know more about Samantha and her novel as she joins us in the studio. Good morning, Samantha Soto.
Good morning, Paolo.
Good morning, good morning. First of all, congratulations. It is such a fantastic book, a fantastic story.
Have you read it?
I have indeed read it. I finished it just the other night. Just in time. And I have to say, I enjoyed every page. This is such a fantastic story that you put together. You know, just to set the stage, this is, well, it's a romance set against some very interesting conditions.
Yeah, right. It takes place on a road trip across Europe. So it takes you on a slight detour through time, through different countries. So the settings really aren't what you would normally learn in history class.
Yeah. Well, that's the part that I really enjoy the most. I mean, you've woven into this romance these little pockets of history that you know, fictionalized scenes from his history, as well as, I mean, it happens across Europe and all over the world. And you tend to center on the path less taken, you know, the road less taken. Those little nooks and crannies, that you don't usually see, and that's really what I enjoyed about the book and the story. But the story of the book is one thing, but the story of how the book came about is such an interesting story in itself. I mean, I hate to make comparisons, but this is a real J.K. Rowling kind of story.
No, don't. You can't, you know,
but I mean,
it's so different.
Yeah. I mean, for those of you who don't know, Sam put together this little book, which has become a big hit. You know, on a whim, on your spare time.
Yes. It was born out of necessity. So I was like playing bus driver to my son. I'd have to bring him to school every day. And his school is on the other side of the planet from my house. And I didn't want to pay for, you know, gas and e-pass all the way back home. So I had to park myself at Starbucks in the same table every day for the entire school year. And I had 3 hours basically to kill. So I figured,
what do you do with all that time?
What do you do, right? If you don't want to pay for Wi-Fi either. And I wasn't on Facebook then, so I had time.
Okay, so you went ahead and during this whole school year, or during this whole time of when you were ferrying your kids, you had all this spare time, and you wrote yourself a little book, a little story, and from there you finished your manuscript and you went and sent it to an agent.
Yes. It was really, well, I knew nothing about the publishing industry when I started because I wasn't thinking about publishing the book when I was writing it. It was my own little vacation for 3 hours every day. So I was like going to Europe, you know, in my little corner in Starbucks. But when I typed the end, it dawned on me like, oh wow, I have a book. It's a book. Now what do I do with it? And as luck would have it, I was actually in SM Baguio on vacation, and we were just walking around the mall, and I happened to pass by book sale. And there in front of me on this table, like plucked from the shelf, was this book. An Idiot's Guide to Publishing. I thought, it's a sign! And that's how I found out all about the publishing industry in the US.
And that was a bit of an eye-opener as well, I'm sure.
Oh my gosh,
but
you
I
need
mean,
an agent.
well, the book certainly helped. The publishing for dummies certainly helped, because you went and you got your book noticed and eventually published by no less than Random House in New York. I mean, it's a big name.
I would have paid them to publish it.
It's a big name. And not only have you been published, you recently launched here in Manila. Big success.
Thank you.
Was it a week ago or 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And the book is currently out in the US as well. Tell us about how it's been received so far.
Well, I'm just overwhelmed by all the support that the Filipinos are giving the book. I did not expect it. Literally, my website crashed because of all the people that were popping in to say hello, and I've been so humbled, humbled by the support and that everybody's gone out to pick up copies of the book.
Right. We're flashing some images here. Just scenes and random passages from your book.
That's the virtual tour of the book. So those are the settings in the book, and those are some quotations from those settings.
Right. Well, trust me when I say, viewers, trust me when I say that it's such a, you've woven this rich story. You really feel. You really feel like you're there, and you feel like you're taking this journey with a heroine through the story, and I have to say it really is such an interesting story. Without letting the cat out of the bag, or the chicken out of the bag.
The chicken.
Just let people. Hook people on here. I mean, it's basically a story of a woman who has married this wonderful man.
Yes. And she gets widowed after a few years of marriage. Her husband, while they're talking on the phone, actually, he dies in a bombing in a train station, and she has to live her life as a widow for about 3 years. And suddenly, this man appears at her door who looks exactly like her husband. And says that, hey, I'm Paolo.
I'm Paolo.
I'm Paolo, and I'm your 32-year-old husband's 32-year-old grandson.
So do the math.
Do the math.
And it's sort of, hey, this doesn't quite add up. How did this happen?
And to add to that, he says, your husband's alive, and I saw him. I saw a blog about him in Boracay.
See, that's what I love here as well. I mean, not only do you take this fantastic trip across Europe, I mean, you go back in history and you talk about a lot about history, but you've also interwoven, the Philippine touch here.
I had to. I mean, I'm a Filipino, and I felt that, even though the book is set in Europe, I felt that there was an opportunity to showcase really something about the Philippines that we could be proud of, which is Boracay.
Well, my question is, I mean, where did you come up with this fantastic story, and where did you dig up all these great little facts and trivia, that really makes the story so rich?
Well, the initial idea came from the fact that I was recovering from a hangover from Time Traveler's Wife.
You've recovered already? I'm still in therapy from that one.
You're still there, yeah. We should have a support group. Well, I love the book. I love Time Traveler's Wife, but I don't want to have any spoilers for those who haven't read the book or seen the movie. But I just felt that, I wanted my own happy ending. So I figured, hey, what if I had this character? This is how I do my own story. And he literally just popped into my car one day while we were stuck in traffic in EDSA by Trinoma. I remember that, under the MRT. And Max, the main character, just introduced himself like, hi, I'm Max. I love chickens. I ran this tour, and that was
I should drive by there more often. Maybe a great idea will fall on my lap. All right. But the part I love, I keep saying it, is this great historical bits of history and trivia that you've woven in there.
That was a lot of research. I call it Google Foo.
Your Google Foo is very powerful. Let me say. Because it is. I'm so impressed by how much information there actually.
It was really a fun process. I mean, I enjoyed the research as much as I did the writing, because for me, what I would do, I'd research then write, then write. So I was taking the journey as you guys read the book. I learned bits more about Max as I was writing. So I didn't outline. I didn't research in advance.
I mean, this is something. There's something in here for everybody. Obviously, I mean, there's a huge killing factor for
as a guy
for the girls, and the guys who are in touch with their feminine side. But also, there's all this rich history that I keep saying and talking about that. You've done what many writers have, only dreamt of. Many writers sit down for years and knock off manuscript after manuscript, book after book, and it's never quite a success. And here you are. I know, I think I'll write a little book, and I know, I'll send it to a publisher. Oh, so they picked it up, they paid me for it, and now it's a huge hit. What's the secret? What's the secret to a great book? What's the secret to success in writing?
I wish I knew, but. I saw it as a hashtag on Twitter.
Right.
And for me, that's my motto, BIC, butt in chair.
Okay, I like it.
I mean, if you want to write, Right. You know, just you have to do the time. So even if it's 5 words a day, 10 words a day, 1,000 words a day, just make sure that every day you're writing a little bit more. And it doesn't matter if on that day it's your off day or inspiration plays hooky. You can always revise later on, you know, and make it the best book ever. But while you're writing, I don't think you should be too conscious of making it perfect, because that's what the delete button is for.
It's for. I know, that's the beauty. That's the beauty of that.
Yes.
Okay. Now, your main character here is, well, obviously it's a woman, and how much of that character is you? How much of that character do you? How much of yourself have you injected in that character, and how much of that character do you see in yourself?
Well, I didn't pattern her after myself. Just a disclaimer, but if there is a little bit of Shelley, or a little bit of me in Shelley, it's her impulsiveness. I would say that was me ages ago. I won't say when, but like when I was her age.
All right.
You know, I was impulsive. I did go on a backpacking trip through Europe on a whim as well. So those things.
Well, I have to say, it really shows, and the book is so fantastic.